What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie2988 coming at you live once again through the power of the internet. And people have been asking me on Twitter every day on live stream, where's the PewDiePie video? Are you going to talk about the PewDiePie situation? Please talk about the PewDiePie situation. And I'll be honest with you, originally I did not think that I was going to. I did not feel like I had anything to add to the conversation, and I felt like a summary of the conversation had been done by so many other people more talented than I that it was unnecessary for me to do it. But I was watching Markiplier's video a few minutes ago, and I realized exactly what it is that I want to tell my audience. About 3 months ago, I asked you guys who you voted for in a poll via Twitter. And unsurprisingly, a lot of you said you couldn't vote or didn't vote. But for those of you that did, about 48% of you voted Republican, and about 52% of you voted Democrat. Now, what this shows me is that I have a pretty open-minded and diverse audience, that my audience is split pretty evenly down the middle, and that they are definitely made up of two different groups who have two different ideal sets when it comes to politics. Now, what that says to me, whether you are liberal or whether you are conservative or moderate down the middle, you are someone who finds my content worth watching. That's something you have in common. But according to another poll that I put out on Twitter last week, and I'll include in this video in the description link below, you guys feel vastly different about the different types of content. About half of you love the Francis sketches, about half of them hate them, about half of you enjoy the rambling videos, about half of you hate them. You guys are pretty much split, pretty much evenly down the middle, even on the types of content I produce. I think the common theme is that you guys do tend to like me, though. But what I think is really interesting about all of this is that both men and women and conservatives and liberals and Americans and people outside of this country, they're all brought together by one simple thing, and that's the content that I produce here on the channel. And this is something that we have in common. And when we mingle down in the comment section below, we are talking about that common thread, and we are enjoying that common thread, and it's bringing us together instead of separating us. But I'm not so self-centered that I think this is the only place this happens. It happens on every other YouTube channel. And it happens with a good television show, or a good book signing, or a nice concert, or a family get-together. We allow those good things to force us to set aside our identity politics so that we can concentrate on that good thing and enjoy it together. And I think that is part of the magic of YouTube, is that it's one of those things. And that brings me to PewDiePie's channel, because that channel and that man has brought together 53 million different people, plus the millions who never hit subscribe. He has brought them all into one place to enjoy one very good thing, him, regardless of their age or sex or walk of life or nation of origin or religion. Many, many, many people have loved Felix over the years, and I'm one of them. And look, I don't want this video to devolve into me attacking Felix, nor do I want this video to devolve into me defending the finer points of comedy or really talking about what I personally believe when it comes to distasteful jokes, because that's been done to death. Other people did it better than me. Just watch their videos for that. What I do want to say here today is that I'm 110% sure, based on my short conversations with a man, based on my mutual friends' conversations, people who are very close to him, who know him very, very well, I can guarantee you this man is not a neo-Nazi or a Nazi or a racist or anything else that you've read in the headlines. It's simply untrue. It is identity politics at its worst. When in reality, what Felix actually is a fledgling comedian who's still trying to learn his craft, and he has recently relied on some very shitty and distasteful old trite shock jokes to try to get those laughs. And I think as he continues to progress and continues to evolve his art, eventually one day he'll look back and regret trying to get those cheap laughs. But that's all they were. They were just cheap laughs. And I am so sure that that is true based on the conversations I've had with mutual friends, as well as the conversations I've had with him. And I will tell you, I'm willing to stake my reputation on it. In fact, I am by making this video. But if you don't want to take my word for it, then I want you to go watch those videos for yourself. Find the instances those occurred and ask yourself, does this seem serious or does this seem like a joke? And chances are you're going to realize it seems like a joke. And if you are the kind of person that says you still can't joke about those things, I understand we're going to have to agree to disagree, because I think the majority of the world does believe that comedy applies to all things, no matter how atrocious or how terrible. Which brings me to the point of this video. Felix is not a Nazi, nor is he a racist, nor is he a neoconservative or an alt-righter, nor is he a YouTuber or a comedian or whatever other label you want to apply to the guy. He's not whatever identity you want to put on the guy. He is Felix. He is a person with hopes and dreams and feelings that are just as important and just as valid as you or I. The same way you and I are not just conservatives or just liberals. It's the same way you and I are not just male or female, or the color of our skin, or our occupation, or our sexual identity, or the occupations that we do every day. If you have a brain that is smart enough to comprehend this video, then statistically speaking, you have a personality that cannot be defined by a single label, or even 5 labels, or even 10 labels. You are a well-rounded, complicated person that is not like any other person that exists today or has ever existed. You are you. And because you are so vastly unique, and so vastly diverse in your mental landscape, there's going to be plenty of things that make you feel different from the people around you. And those differences can definitely keep you from coming together. But if you focus on the things that you have in common with the other people around you, and you let those bring you together and ignore those differences, things can be pretty great. But right now, there are people that are willing to boil Felix down, not from the complicated person that he actually is, but down to one single label, so that they can point and scream at him, burn the Nazi, burn the Nazi, burn the witch, burn the witch, burn him at the stake. Fortunately for me, I know that this audience, my audience, is smarter than that. And I actually truly believe that their audience is smarter than that. And I think at the end of the day, very little will come of this because people are smart enough to know that that's just not true. So the point I'm making in this video is very, very simple. Please be aware that this is a case of certain people in charge, 3 reporters at the Wall Street Journal, who have decided to take one of those hateful labels and apply it to someone or something that it does not belong applied to, and use that to attack that person in an attempt to emotionally manipulate you into hating something or loving something or buying something. And this happens every single day, all day, in the media, on YouTube, in advertisement, and you need to be aware of it. You need to think critically. You need to do your own investigation instead of trusting other people to do it. You need to apply this stuff for yourself and think about it for yourself. And when you read a headline, don't just stop at the headline. If it's something you care about, look deeper into it, at least read the article, but go further. Go past that article and look at other articles. Invite opposing point of views into your life so that you can continue to be a vastly well-rounded individual. And don't be the person that just looks at the label that somebody else applied to a person or a thing. But look for the common ground. Look for the interesting thing that you guys share and love together. And then don't hate on them for the differences. Celebrate the differences, because that's what makes a person the unique tapestry of mental thought and feelings that they are. It's those differences, and they should be celebrated. And I'll tell you, this is something I've tried to do my entire life, and I have thousands of friends because of it. I've learned so much, and they say an educated mind can entertain an ideal without accepting it, and I've entertained and understood more things that I could disagree with in my lifetime than I found things that I agree with. But it's fascinating because you really get to know another person, you really get to bond with that person, and it's so rewarding, and I hope that you choose to do that here on the internet, and especially in real life. Which might beg the question, would I befriend a Nazi? Long enough to try to talk to them. Long enough to perhaps try to understand why they feel the way that they feel, long enough to possibly try to open their mind into feeling the way that I feel, or at least challenging the perceptions and planting the seed that might result in them being better one day. Yes, I would befriend a Nazi long enough to have that conversation. But that's just one man's opinion. I definitely could be wrong, and I know many of you will think I am, and I want to hear about it in the comments section below. I promise you I'll definitely be reading comments on this video. That said, thank you for tolerating my opinion, and thank you for tolerating this video. It's so important, I think, to talk about this message, and whenever I get the opportunity to do it, and this is the perfect opportunity, I'm going to try to seize that opportunity, and I hope you guys understand that. But as always, thank you for watching. I love you very much, and I'll speak with you again soon, and thanks for being you.